Imagine going from your college dorm room to walking the runway in front of Anna Wintour as a Vogue model just from one phone call. Winnie Zhong Feifei doesn't have to imagine, as this is her reality. Hi everyone, it's I-DLE. Welcome back to my channel. In 2022, I spoke about how the then college student was scouted to join entertainment competition show Chuang 2020, which then led to her becoming the first African-Chinese model in a Vogue China cover story. Since then, a lot has transpired for Feifei. She recently revealed some sad details that might leave you shocked. The idol and modeling industries are known to be tough and cold. Although glamorous from the outside, we rarely get to see the true reality of this lifestyle from the other side. So what really happened to Feifei since she got that fateful call back in 2020? Born in China, Winnie spent her early life growing up in the Republic of Congo with her Chinese mother and Congolese father, until he passed away. Due to civil war happening in the country, Winnie told the New York Times that her mom decided to send her to Shanghai at age 5, where her Chinese grandmother would raise her for the time being. At that time, Winnie's grandmother gave her the Chinese name Zhong Feifei, which roughly translates to China, Africa. Although her friends still call her Winnie, Feifei would use this name in official settings and later as her stage name. She told Entertainment Management Studio that while growing up in Shanghai, staff from the children's channel on TV would often come to her school to scout for young actors, and they would select Feifei almost every time. As a result of her mixed Black and Asian appearance, she automatically stood out to the scouts. But her grandmother declined these child acting opportunities every time in order to protect Feifei from facing society too early. Around 15, Feifei left China to join her mother in Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo, until she later went to college in the United States, attending Boston University for undergrad and Johns Hopkins for her master's. While in college, Feifei got a phone call from her cousin saying that the producers from Produce 101 China had found her on Weibo through an old makeup video they had done together on social media. Produce 101 China, also known as Produce Camp or Chuang, is a Chinese idol reality TV show where 101 trainees compete in order to debut in a temporary C-pop music group made of the top final contestants. Feifei's cousin had auditioned for the show, but the show's staff wanted Feifei to audition too. Feifei ended up becoming a contestant on Chuang 2020, ranking at 27 out of the 101 girls before she was eliminated. After the show ended, Feifei's fans hoped to still see her active in the idol industry. Chuang is part of a Korean franchise, Produce 101, owned by Mnet CJENM, who runs similar competition shows in South Korea. Plenty of Produce franchise contestants who didn't debut in their show's final K-pop groups have still gone on to have careers as idols, such as Soyeon of I-DLE, Yunjin of Le Sserafim, Yiren and Sihyeon of Everglow, Suhyeon of Billlie, and Minji of Secret Number. Since it's common practice for competition show trainees who didn't make it to their final lineup to join reality TV again, Feifei's fans encouraged her to participate in another idol survival show, but she refused, saying no more girl groups and their toxic skinny culture. It's no secret that the idol industry has a very strict beauty standard when it comes to the women and girls being skinny. Idol competition shows are no stranger to this toxic body culture either. The pressure put on the Chuang contestants to be thin was not only intense, but systemically enforced. The contestants were also isolated from receiving regular support from back home. When the girls first arrived at the competition set, staff used a device to scan their luggage for any electronics. They weren't allowed to have contact with the outside world during the competition, so any technology they had was taken and would be returned at the end of the show. Feifei said she turned in her computer, phone, and Nintendo Switch, but later, she found that some girls had brought 10 phones with them hidden strategically in their bags so they wouldn't be found. Whenever staff would catch them using their phone, the girl would just turn it in and move on to her next backup phone. Other girls even packed fake model iPhones that showed an Apple logo on the screen when turned on but weren't actually functional. If they got caught with their real phone, they'd just turn in this decoy phone instead. Through this method, many of the Chuang contestants were able to surf online, check social media, and keep in contact with their management who helped them strategize and provided them with emotional support while on the show. Feifei says she felt totally unprepared as she was unaware of this trainee trick the other girls were pros at. Due to having zero internet access, Feifei didn't even know she was trending online until a week after, when someone with a phone came up and whispered to her, "Do you know you're trending?" Being able to project a certain image to audiences watching and voting at home, along with knowing how the public was perceiving them, was a major advantage for trainee morale, which Feifei didn't get. It didn't help that Feifei was practically left on her own when it came to hairstyling too, as the Chuang staff would barely style her hair. They told her to just wash her hair and come with her curls as is. If anything, the hairstylist would put her hair in a ponytail or just straighten it while the other contestants got proper styling done. The Chuang trainees were under camera surveillance 24/7, which didn't make things any easier. The pressure to maintain a certain appearance was severe, with their food consumption being policed and their bodies openly scrutinized, especially those viewed to be bigger. Trigger warning for body shaming, diet culture, weight, body image, and fat shaming. At the very beginning of the competition, some of the Chuang contestants went through a slim waist challenge. In this challenge, the girls had to walk through a row of spaced out bars that gradually got closer together the further they walked down between them. These bars were labeled with descending measurements to show that the further a girl could fit her waist through these bars, the slimmer she was and the more likely she would garner audience attention. As the camera cut to one contestant boasting that she could surely pass the challenge because her waist was so thin, the camera then switched to a host calling trainee Jingfan to compete. Jingfan carried slightly more weight than her counterparts, and her self-proclaimed extraordinary appetite set her up to be the subject of fat jokes and subtle mockery throughout her entire time on the series. The trainees cheered her on, some seemingly not genuinely, as Jingfan struggled to suck in her stomach and move through the bars, while her thinner competitors watched intently from the sidelines. Some trainees chanted, breathe in," as she pushed herself through the course, pulling her skin back to fit the space before giving up ahead of the last bar, though she was still applauded for effort. After this, the camera showed multiple trainees passing through the bars with much more ease while praising their time in the gym before cutting back to Jingfan, who was eating, contrasting the preferred physique and positive gym training of her skinnier counterparts. They then cut back to the slim waist challenge as one trainee finally slid through the last bar, winning the contest as she was labeled to have the most beautiful slim waist, which was followed by having her promote the show's yogurt sponsor, as if the drink would help viewers at home also get a super beautiful and slim waist. Later, while the trainees were still getting acquainted in the dorm, two of the Chuang judges, Tao and Luhan from K-pop group EXO, came in to confiscate all the snacks the girls had packed in their suitcases. Even though the trainees begged to keep their food as they had nothing to eat, Tao said they had to be fair as mentors and continued to snatch what the girls tried to hide, rummaging through their belongings and keeping whatever looked edible, even taking one girl's skincare bottle. The girls continued to protest the raid, while Luhan and Tao laughed over how they were going to eat the food they confiscated. As the coaches left, Tao turned around and gave back one container of noodles, saying the girls could have that for dinner. When they were gone, the girls made light of the situation as they said, "Now we won't be tempted anymore. Exercise, yay!" In reality, nothing was ideal about this situation. The portions of food the trainees could eat from meals were limited, and not having their snacks to eat in the dorm left many of the contestants hungry. Feifei shared on TikTok how the girls were so desperate for food that one of them purposely gave herself a pimple so she could leave the dorm for treatment in order to sneak snacks back in from the outside. When eliminations came around, the trainees who had gained weight were singled out. Luhan said to the girls that if they had gained weight since the competition started, they should step forward. Everyone hesitated. Luhan then said again, "If you've gained weight, move forward. Step forward to the line in front of you." Reluctantly, some of the girls stepped forward and walked to the line, one saying she wanted to go and hide due to the shame. Luhan then said, "Wow, that many of you?" After only a few of the trainees came forward, one trainee turned around and told the others to be honest. Luhan then announced, "We've prepared a scale right here." The girls protested and more walked to the line. Of course, with the threat of being weighed publicly, no one wanted to get caught lying. Luhan then asked for Jingfan and why she didn't step forward. Jingfan insisted she didn't gain any weight, but then Luhan asked her how many pieces of sticky chicken they were each given to eat. She replied, "We only get one piece." Another mentor, Victoria of SM girl group FX, then asked her if anyone gave her their chicken portion. Jingfan initially said no, then yes. Luhan then asked everyone who gave Jingfan their chicken portion to raise their hands, and several girls did. As if this was some sort of proof of Jingfan gaining weight, Tao then told her to come to the line because he didn't believe her. Still pleading her innocence, Jingfan joined the other girls after this public humiliation. For one of the show's tasks, they let contestants go grocery shopping as a reward, but not everyone was allowed to go. Only the top 5 most voted trainees and the winners of the last challenge were permitted to go. The most voted trainees were allowed to bring 2 assistants with them. The rest of the trainees were told to decorate the dorm and simply wish for the food they wanted. Unfortunately, one of the most voted trainees had a neck injury. Her team members visited her hotel room to update her on what she'd missed, including the grocery reward. They let her know that because the group's most voted trainee wasn't present, the show hadn't allowed them to go grocery shopping. Knowing her teammates were prevented from getting food because of her injury made her cry. Her teammates tried to console her by saying they still had food, but they all knew it wasn't the best. Losing such an opportunity to get food in this manner was harsh. The food restriction on Chuang was no joke. The trainees even complained that they were not getting enough food and were basically starving. One trainee said, "I am hoping I will never eat salad again. We've been eating salad for a month now. I want to eat fried chicken." Another one said, "I am eager to have a big meal because I don't have enough to eat every day. You can't get enough to eat. The physical energy consumption is too much. I'm hungry every day." This was just the tip of the iceberg. As one can imagine, this took a major toll on the trainees' mental health, and many did not come out of the show unscathed. Feifei said there were times on the show she regretted being there. Some moments even left her questioning life. For about a year after Chuang finished, Feifei said she was in a state of heavy body dysmorphia. Because she was so self-conscious about her appearance, this insecurity led to her not posting vlogs or going live on social media anymore. She wouldn't even go out in public despite wanting to connect with people. When it came to being on screen, Feifei wouldn't allow people to film her unless she was in full glam makeup. When Vogue China reached out to Feifei about 4 months after Chuang for her first shoot, she didn't know she was going to be part of a cover story until she was flown out to a valley location for the behind-the-scenes filming. When Feifei was actually on set for the Vogue editorial, she said it was her most insecure shoot ever. The makeup artist put very minimal makeup on her, and she could still see hyperpigmentation through it. Feifei was literally freaking out because the makeup artist didn't put any mascara on her, and she was at a point where she normally wouldn't even be on camera without false eyelashes on at least. She was so anxious that she asked the makeup artist if they could give her some contour or something to work with. But the MUA said, "You look fine. This is what we need from you. Just you." Feifei said she did the shoot and just let it go, trying not to worry too much about it. When the cover story finally came out, she felt so happy. It was empowering that despite all the time she spent hiding, feeling she needed to do all of these extra things to look good, that she actually looked great without them. It was at that moment she realized she was authentically beautiful and could be happy with herself just as she was. The shoot meant so much to her not only as a person but as a woman. Feifei said she feels very supported, respected, and appreciated by the Vogue China team, especially as a woman of color, and she has continued to book work with them since. In 2023, she attended the annual Vogue Forces of Fashion conference, held in Shanghai for the first time that year, where she graced the runway in front of Vogue China's then editor-in-chief Margaret Zhong, alongside Vogue's editor-in-chief Anna Wintour, who also read Feifei's New York Times article, making the day even more special for her. Most recently, Feifei modeled in the Vogue Plus April collaboration with Rihanna as the singer launched Fenty Beauty in mainland China this year. Feifei has also been learning to find her own personal style. She realized she doesn't have to fit the bubblegum idol aesthetic and has been intentionally detaching herself from the K-pop discussion. Although she knows it meant a lot for K-pop fans to see their pick debut and succeed, she did not debut from Chuang and wants to try new things while searching for her own sense of identity outside of the idol world. Feifei graduated with her master's degree in 2022 and has been in the process of relocating to Los Angeles, California for more career opportunities in the entertainment industry. There, she's been working on finding her sound and experimenting with her musical direction while also focusing on artist development and taking acting classes. Her vocal coach, who regularly teaches LA starlets and contestants from shows like American Idol, recognized that Feifei was burning herself out and talked to her about how young contestants from these competition shows tend to tie their self-worth to the outcome of the show they were on. As Feifei had been dealing with depression and anxiety, she took her vocal coach's words to heart and decided to seek therapy so she could focus on healing. With the new girls season of Chuang Asia happening this year in Thailand, Feifei tweeted out a message to the contestants saying, "Shout out to the Chuang girls. I hope you seek therapy after." Feifei still hangs out with the friends she made on Chuang, and she hopes to possibly share more about her experience in the future. It's interesting how your entire life can change overnight from a single phone call. This goes to show not all that glitters is gold. It's okay to slow down and prioritize your long-term health over immediate wealth. The following is footage of Feifei during her time in Congo with Vogue China. Please enjoy and thanks for watching.
Hi Vogue， 我是仲菲菲。今天呢，我在刚果金的首都金沙萨，然后我要带你们来探索和记录这个我生活了5年的地方。Let's go！今天要去的第一个地方呢，是一个有35年历史的工艺品市场。我之前参观过国立博物馆之后呢，就对一些传统的工艺特别感兴趣，所以很多本地人会跟我推荐，你可以去这个工艺品市场看一看。这个是以前代表护照的身份证，就是一个代表你族群的面具。中国最常见的编织材料就是拉菲草，然后这些所有都是达沙玛和他的夫人一起做的。而且他跟我说，这边所有的颜色都是用自然的染色方法。这应该是我体验过最特别的化妆间，因为我们在大街上随便找了个地方开始换装。C'est bon？这是我今天的第一套 look， 然后是设计师 Le Bangala 制作的。Over 了。Okay. 之前大部分时间都是跟高中的朋友们在一起。然后在朋友家里面玩，也是这次回来了之后慢慢的去一个人摸索，然后去探索。对于我来说也是一个让我重新认识这个城市的新机会吧。我们在花布市场，在刚果呢，花布是最有代表性的一个时尚元素，然后我今天也是第一次来，所以我也不知道我们会发现什么，一起来看看。如果你想的话，你可以让他们就是把你的脸放在上面，你可以定制你自己的布料。这个呢就是刚果的穿的布料，然后它叫 wax。我们已经换好今天的第2套 look， 然后跟刚刚的第一个 look 的设计师是一样的，也是 Le Bangala。我现在我的新朋友拿黑马的时装工作室里，然后呢，他是一位新晋的本土设计师。今天呢，我要来参观一下他的工作室，同时也试穿一下他的作品。
Inspiration? I don't really have an inspiration. I just try to use the raffia like it would be a normal fabric. It's from a certain tribe.
Which tribe?
It's from the Songye tribe.
Songye.
Yeah, Songye tribe.
So it's always like you have to explore it. You have to keep exploring, and then you have to keep finding. Yeah, it changes. Like when people ask me, what does it feel to be like Black and Chinese? I'm like, it changes. Hopefully, like I do music, I do fashion. Hopefully, I can show that change in my work.
Yeah.
And it's like we show who we are in our work.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
今天终于同时作为模特和摄影师完成了拍摄，我们现在可以去吃饭了。然后我还点了一份炸，应该是芭蕉，它不是香蕉，但这个热量很高，不过真的特别好吃，所以我就不管这么多了。很错，喂。真的，Vogue 呢，它是一种泛指所有拿荷叶包起来的一种烹饪方式，它不只是一道菜。然后我今天点的是鱼肉，因为我其实从小是在中国长大的，所以我第一次回金沙夏有很大的一个怎么说呢身份冲突，因为我觉得。我既然是中非混血的话，为什么我对刚果的文化了解的这么的少？在这个我应该很熟悉的地方，感觉像一个陌生人一样。所以从那之后，我就一直在尽力的用自己的方式去了解这个城市，去了解这片土地。每一次回来，其实我都会有新的发现，因为这片土地就是它非常的有创造力，然后非常的有生命力，然后非常值得你去继续不断的去探索。就是也很感谢Vogue可以给我这个机会，让我去展现我眼里的刚果是什么样子的。但是这么多年过去了，我唯一的遗憾就是我还是不会讲林加拉语，我只会说 Vogue， 就是你好的意思，是 Vogue， Makemba， 然后。Comment on dit au revoir? Bye. 就是什么 bye? OK， 那再见的话呢，就是 bye。所以Vogue 的朋友们，谢谢你们今天可以陪我一起参观我这个曾经生活了5年的地方。别忘了关注 Vogue， 关注仲菲菲 ，and bye。